There's something strange brewing in the Bay Area, something that feels almost unreal for every member of Dub Nation. The whispers are growing louder, echoing through the tunnels of Chase Center and across social media feeds everywhere. Steve Kerr could be leaving the Golden State Warriors. Just saying those words feels surreal, like a dream you wish you could wake up from, but what if this time, it's real? For years, Kerr has been more than a coach. He's been the architect of an era, the calm voice in the storm, the chess master behind 4 championship banners that hang proudly in the rafters. But lately, the once unshakable foundation seems to be trembling. The team's chemistry isn't the same, the dynasty feels fragile, and suddenly, the future of the man who built it all is being questioned. The rumors started quietly, almost like background noise. A few insiders talking about tension, about fatigue, about the possibility that Kerr's message isn't hitting the same as it used to. But as the weeks went by, that whisper turned into a wave of speculation that's now impossible to ignore. And if you listen closely, you can almost hear it in Kerr's tone during press conferences. There's a weariness that wasn't there before. Some fans say it's just part of the natural cycle. That every dynasty eventually fades, that even legends need a new challenge. Others, though, see something deeper, a feeling that this chapter might be closing sooner than anyone expected. For a team that built its identity on joy, movement, and unity, the idea of losing the man who embodied all three is almost too painful to imagine. It's not about statistics or win-loss records anymore. It's about what Steve Kerr means to the Warriors' soul. He's not just the guy drawing plays on a clipboard. He's the one who made Golden State basketball beautiful. The ball movement, the trust, the selflessness, that all started with him. Without Kerr, it's hard to picture what the Warriors even look like. But something feels off this season. The rotations have been inconsistent. The team's identity seems uncertain. Even the body language on the bench tells a story that fans are picking up on. Kerr's usual spark, that infectious calm confidence, feels dimmer. You can see it in the way he glances at the scoreboard, or in the way he talks about figuring things out. It sounds less like a plan and more like a farewell. Behind closed doors, there's talk of disagreements with the front office. Some say Kerr wants more say in roster decisions. Others claim he's frustrated with the team's lack of direction, torn between building for the future and clinging to the past. And when a coach starts to feel that kind of divide, it's usually a sign that change is near. Imagine for a moment what that would mean for Steph Curry. Kerr has been his mentor, his partner in greatness, the one who unlocked the freedom that made Steph the face of modern basketball. If Kerr walks away, it's not just a coaching change, it's a seismic shift in the emotional core of this team. The locker room, too, would feel the shock. Draymond Green owes much of his evolution to Kerr's faith. Klay Thompson, whose patience during recovery was often guided by Kerr's empathy, would lose a figure who understood his journey better than anyone. These aren't just professional relationships, they're bonds forged through triumph and heartbreak. Of course, Kerr himself has hinted before at the toll this job takes. The endless travel, the media scrutiny, the mental and emotional strain of leading a team through both glory and decline, it wears on anyone. And Kerr, after nearly a decade of this, might be reaching that point where even the brightest lights start to feel too harsh. Some insiders suggest that if he were to leave, it wouldn't be because of failure, but completion. A sense that he's done everything he can here. 4 rings, countless memories, and a legacy that will forever be tied to the Warriors' golden years. Maybe, in his heart, Kerr feels it's time to hand over the keys and let someone else steer the next generation. But let's be honest, no one in Dub Nation is ready for that. We've grown so used to seeing Kerr standing on the sideline, calm but intense, arms folded, orchestrating chaos into beauty. The idea of another voice giving commands from that spot feels foreign, even wrong. It's like trying to imagine the Splash Brothers without the splash. Still, rumors have power. They create tension, they spark debate, they force people to ask hard questions. And the biggest question now is, if Kerr really does leave, what comes next? Is it a rebuild? Is it the end of the dynasty? Or is it simply the next evolution of the Warriors' story? Names are already being floated as possible replacements, though no one dares say it too loudly. Some fans dream of a former player stepping up. Others mention big names from around the league. But deep down, everyone knows, it's not about who comes next. It's about the fact that someone might have to. Kerr's relationship with management has always been respectful, but not without friction. The delicate balance between competing now and planning for tomorrow has stretched even the tightest bonds. The front office wants to keep the dynasty alive, but Kerr has made it clear he values balance, development, trust, growth. That philosophical tug-of-war might be exactly what's pulling him away. And then there's the fanbase, split between nostalgia and pragmatism. Half want to run it back one more time, to give Kerr and the core one last shot at glory. The other half believes it's time to reset, to start shaping the future around young talents. Kerr stands in the middle, trying to please both worlds, and that's an impossible position for anyone. If this truly is the beginning of the end, you can feel it in the air at Chase Center. Every game feels a little heavier. Every loss stings a little more. Even the wins don't carry the same euphoria they once did. It's like the fans know something's shifting, even if no one said it out loud. There's a strange poetry in the idea that Kerr might leave just as the dynasty begins to fade. He came in when the Warriors were rising, guided them through the peak, and perhaps he'll bow out gracefully before the decline becomes too steep. That's Kerr's way, always composed, always aware of timing. But for the players, this uncertainty is a storm. Draymond has been outspoken about leadership and accountability. Clay's future is already a question mark. Steph, ever the optimist, keeps preaching patience and trust. But even he must feel the ground moving beneath his feet. Fans can sense it too. The Warriors have been the heartbeat of modern basketball for a decade, and Steve Kerr has been that rhythm's steady beat. If he stops conducting, the music changes, and maybe, just maybe, the symphony ends. Social media is ablaze with theories. Some say he's got another job lined up, perhaps in broadcasting or even a front office role somewhere else. Others believe he might take a break entirely, to rest, reflect, and recharge. After all, Kerr has always been a man of depth, someone who values purpose over position. There's even talk of Team USA connections pulling him in another direction. Coaching at the highest international level, with less grind and more focus on development, could appeal to a man who's already done it all in the NBA. Maybe Kerr sees that as his next mountain to climb. But for us, the fans, it's not about the next mountain. It's about this home we've built together, the culture of joy, teamwork, and unity that Kerr helped create. Losing him would feel like losing part of our identity. Like the bridge between the old Oracle Arena days and the new Chase Center era collapsing into the Bay. The truth is, time changes everything. Players age, systems evolve, and even dynasties must reinvent themselves. Maybe this is just the natural order of things. Or maybe it's something more, a signal that the Warriors are standing at the crossroads of history, deciding which road to take. Every great era in sports ends, but few end peacefully. The tension, the rumors, the uncertainty, they're all part of the process. But there's still a sliver of hope, a feeling deep in Dub Nation's heart that maybe, just maybe, Kerr isn't done yet. Maybe there's one last act left in this story. We remember the laughter, the parades, the moments when everything felt perfect. We remember Kerr drawing up that perfect out-of-bounds play, or the way he'd crack a joke even after a tough loss. That's what made him ours, not just the championships, but the humanity behind them. If this is truly the end, then Dub Nation will stand tall, grateful for every moment. But if it's not, if there's still one more run left in this dynasty, then maybe we're about to witness the greatest redemption arc in NBA history. For now, though, we wait. We watch. We hope. Because no matter how many rumors swirl, one thing will always be true. Steve Kerr changed the Golden State Warriors forever. And if he's really on his way out, we'll never see another like him again. Before we dive into the next update, help us keep the Warriors' spirit alive by subscribing to the channel and smashing that like button. Stay connected with all the latest Golden State Warriors news. Now, let's get into it.